So we have four speakers on this panel, like I said. The first is Mercy Akinmoyewa. She's the CEO of Every Style, and she's into making her own products. That's what we call art skills and services. So she does her own product, and then she sells it. I hope I made a point there. And then next is Ajimoti. Let me see appropriately. Precious Omowunmi Ajimoti. You want to clap, please clap. You are not excited. This particular individual speaker, she is a voiceover artist. She is an event host. She's a shades of so many things, but everything revolves around digital skills and services. So just in case you're saying, why not digital? We have someone for you today that is going to speak to that. And again, we have Mrs. Olufunke Olofinnika. She owns a boutique and variety store. So she has her own physical products that she sells. Even though she's a professional, she's a nurse, so she's a nursepreneur. And the fourth person, who I'm so excited to introduce or to inform you about, is Triumph Ogeh. Triumph Ogeh is a tech expert. Settle that name, like tech expert. She's into data analysis. She's a tech entrepreneur and also an innovator. I know that you can see that we have. Please clap if you want to clap. So I would like us to clap as they walk into the panel. Miss Mercy Akinmoyewa, please come forward. You are not clapping. You are not clapping. You are not clapping. You are not clapping. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Triumph, okay. Thank you very much. Thanks for honoring our invitation. My co-host, thank you so much for being of great support to me today. That's Miss Precious Omowunmi Ajimoti. And I think we'll be waiting for Mrs. Olufunke Olofinnika. Thank you very much. I need that to be sure if. Alright. Okay, do we all have mics? This is what I call complete package. Have you heard that before? Total package. So, once again, the topic is the enterprising and entrepreneur lady in the digital age. So before we actually talk about their journeys, can we just talk a little about what is entrepreneurship? I know people have a lot of, in fact, we use different words, business, entrepreneurship, and a lot of other words. So I think I should start from Mrs. Olofinnika. Ma, in your own words, from your own experience as a businesswoman, what do you think is entrepreneurship? What is it all about? What's the key thing that we need to know when it comes to entrepreneurship?
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm happy to be here. When we talk about entrepreneurship, I think it's self-employment, following your passion. Just be yourself and follow your passion and get the best.
Wow. Thank you very much. That was just so precise. Mr. Omowunmi, you are into digital skills. You don't have anything you're particularly selling that is physical. So to you, what is entrepreneurship?
All right. Entrepreneurship for me is bringing in, like from my perspective, is bringing in your creativity, like using your creativity to build a business. Your creativity, your talent as a person, what you have, what you love, like what Mrs. Olofinnika said. So for me, that is what entrepreneurship is. But please let's look at business. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I love that fact because it's not still just about the talent, what I love. You have to underline the fact that it's a business. So now Miss Triumph Ogeh, she's into tech. And I learned that tech people are always quiet, behind the scene. In fact, they don't even have to have a social media brand and all kinds of misconceptions. So I want to ask, to you, what is entrepreneurship?
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. So to me, entrepreneurship is basically creating value, right? So what value are you offering people that they're willing to drop their money for you? That's what entrepreneurship is to me.
That means, in other words, entrepreneurship is innovation, and innovation is tech. I think we are making a very beautiful point out of this today. Oh, Miss Mercy Akinmoyewa. To you, Ma, what is entrepreneurship?
Okay, Ma, thank you, Ma. To me, entrepreneurship means taking yourself from the place of the ideal stage to realization stage. I mean, for instance, as a business person, if you have a business in mind, you're taking it from an idea stage, you want to actualize it. And I want you to know that to be an entrepreneur, you must be willing to take risk. Thank you.
Wow. She has taken us to another level. You have to be willing to take risks. So if you have ideas, move it from that idea stage and bring it to reality. So this is another question I want us to talk about quickly before we talk about our journey so far. Is business actually for everyone? Because personally, at the point in my life, I felt like I don't need a business. Like, I'm already busy. Like, I'm a nurse. Pardon me if I didn't introduce myself appropriately before. I'm a nurse, and it's already a busy word. So, do we have to be in business? But then, this is an example of someone who is a nurse and also thriving. So, is business for everyone?
Okay, for me, I would say business is not for everyone, but skill is for everyone. The process of monetizing your skill is what is called business. So it is important to have a skill, but it is not so important to want to monetize it. Thank you.
Wow. We're not clapping. Maybe we are not getting this part. Please pardon me, I need my pen because I need to actually write. Thank you so much. So she said that business is actually very important. And then what is, just kind of recap, please. I just want to get.
Okay, I actually said business is not for everyone, but having a skill is for everyone. All and right. The process of monetizing your skill is what is called business, which is optional.
Thank you very much. So having a skill is compulsory, but monetizing it is optional. But if you want business, that means you have to monetize your skill, right? So Mrs. Olofinnika, Ma, what's your view about business being for everyone?
There's a difference between business and entrepreneur.
Okay.
Just like she has said, when you try to make profit from a particular skill, we can say it's a business.
Okay.
The other time I said entrepreneurship is following your passion, your vision, turning it into reality. Everyone should have a vision. So everyone should be an entrepreneur. But you might not be a businesswoman. You must have a passion. You must have a vision. You must grab something. So business, monetizing it might not be for everyone. But then someone should have a passion that you want to follow. It might just be to help people and not to get money. But then, why will you just have a business skill without getting something from it?
Yeah.
You have to get something in return.
Thank you. Thank you very much for making that valid point. We should clap. We should clap because they are giving us practical examples. So I think we should go to their journey so far. Let me just use this moment to tell a little story about Mrs. Olofinnika. It's going to go round. So, I think in 2019, I needed something. I just came in to Ondo. And I was going about like, I need this thing. Where can I get it? Maybe 2 persons told me, have you asked Mama Super? I'm like, who's Mama Super again? Like, I said, where? They said, in this hospital. And then later on, I met her. When I kept on asking, sorry, who is Mama Super? I think I asked a number of people, and they kept on, you don't know her, you should know her, you don't know her, you should know her. But eventually, I met her. Like, it was so interesting for me that someone who is a nurse, has a full-time job, has also built a business, who has a household name in an environment. So, and she's also combining both online, offline. So, Ma, please, can you let us in? How did this start? What inspired you to begin this journey? Because I want to know. Don't you want to know? Ma, they want to know.
Wow, what inspired me? I think that's a very big question for me. I've been in business since when I was in nursing school. My mom is a teacher. So I'm sure you understand when you have a mother who's a teacher, an hardworking woman. She's into many, many businesses. You know, they will sell this, sell that. So I think I got that from her. So when I was in school, I have everything that I actually needed. But I think it runs in blood. Let me just say that because I started selling so many things in my room. I'll sell kerosene, I'll put it in my room, I'll go to read. Before I come back, they bought it. They will put my money there. That's the funny part of it. Wow. They'll be telling you, go and buy this thing. My roommate will be selling it for me. It is not that I wasn't in need of money. Wow. But then, I just feel like, let me go to town, buy this thing, put it there, because I felt they needed it. Wow. Some of them, they'll be roaming about, they don't have this. So, some of them, I'll just put a little profit. Not that I'm actually making, I can't really say I gather the money to buy, but then I have money. I'll just be having money. Money doesn't flow. Yes, yes. People will come, and then I was in church, I have this responsibility. This one say I need food. This one say I need food. They will come to my room, they will be taking my food stuff. I need to fill them back. Mm-hmm. So when I started my business, the real business that I'm doing, let me just tell you something. I started with organic products. I'm a nurse, and the environment, I discovered that some of our patients, they come around, I saw the need that all these babies, all this cream that they are using for them, some will come down with jaundice. They had a lot of things that are not good for babies. So I just felt, what can I do? There's a case of a patient of mine that had to get blood transfusion because of the cream that was used on that skin. So that pushed me that, what can I do? So I started doing a lot of researches. What can I do to help this patient? What can I do? I did a lot. And that was how I came. And before you know it, some other things will be coming in. So I was able to just see beyond where I was. People started asking me a lot of things, and that's how it started.
Wow. You guys should clap. You should clap, because she just gave us a curriculum. Yeah. When there's a problem around you, it should inspire you to create a solution, because eventually money flows in the direction of value. So you don't stay there and be complaining, why are they having done this? She needed to go do her research, and then she came up with a solution, which today, I work in another intensive care unit, and up until yesterday, I still saw a brand. I'm like, this woman everywhere. Honestly, that is how it started for her, and then I'm sure many of us are already on that path. So you are challenged to keep doing it, because one of these days it will become bigger. So I moved to my namesake, Miss Precious Ajimoti. What's your journey like? I mean, you are a blend of many things. You work in radio house, you are a student, a number of things. Digital. Please tell us, how did you start?
All right, so for the course of, for the purpose of this gathering, I will just focus on two things, which is, I was introduced as someone who does...
Maybe you should speak a little bit louder, and
please, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? All right, so basically I do two things. I am a voiceover artist, and I am a virtual assistant. And we've talked about me being a digital person, how it all started. Actually, I grew up as a child that used to watch a lot of TV. So I grew up beside the TV and the radio set. And it happened that because they call voice of artists, real voice of artists, we call ourselves voice talents. And so talent is something that is inborn, it's inside of you. And then it just happened that I grew up by the TV and by the radio set, and I just discovered that I could do certain things that media personalities could do even without training. And so at some point I would mimic people, like I'll try to sound like people who read the news and everything. That was before I even knew I was ever going to work on the radio or anything. Like I just used to have fun. Then I would just be in front of my house there in Abuja, and I would just be mimicking. I can speak Pidgin as I do like this. You understand? So I can speak Pidgin, I can speak Hausa, I can speak Yoruba, I can sound like a Calabar person.
Wow.
So I used to do these things, and I just used to do it for fun. But then I was like, okay. I remember very well, there was a particular time I was like, what do they call people that do the things I do? I didn't even know what exactly I was thinking. And I was just imagining, and this is like a kind of a call to us that before you are able to discover something, there must be a searching, like a yearning inside of you. And so when I was like, let me even know what exactly this thing is, and then I started searching, and all of a sudden I discovered, okay, I'm a voice artist, I'm a voice talent. And then I started building from there. And so from there, there was a particular time in church there where we needed a voiceover. And then I had just my phone, but now by God's grace, God has provided equipment. Praise God! And so there was a need for should I say there was a need? I just felt that, okay, we're in DLCF, nobody is announcing the church, nobody is doing something to put a particular program out there, carry Doxa. That was the first public voice I did, and I recorded it with my phone. And so I just put things together, and just to show that it's talent, I am someone who is able to come up with ideas, like anything. Like when it comes to doing my work, it would just come. Amen? And so I just put those things together, and then I created a voiceover. I did a jingle for the program at that time, and everybody was, wow, who is that sister? Who is that sister? I was like, okay. Like it was sending some signals to me. I was like, okay, I started to say, let's take it to a higher level. And then from there, I started building. I started doing a lot of free work for people. Please follow your passion. Don't first look for money. Money is good, which is one of the reasons we're discussing today, but money is not everything. And so I did a lot of free work for people, and then I worked, because I was confident, I did a lot of samples of my work and everything. Wow. And then I walked into a radio station confidently, and I was like, okay, I want to volunteer here, I want to do free work for you. I want to make use of this talent that God has given to me to impact life, to just bless people and everything. And then as I walked in there, I'm sorry, I hope I'm not taking too much time.
I think you have given us so much, and I've actually written a lot of these. You said that before you discover yourself and discover your talent and how you want to use it, there has to be a yearning inside.
There has to be a longing.
Wow.
And then you follow it.
Yeah, you follow it. So, and you were in the place of service when you were even found and then shown to the world.
Exactly.
We're coming back to that. So, Miss Triumph, please, can you just let us in a bit into your journey? What inspired you into what you do today as a tech expert?
Okay, so first, before I start, apologies to anybody in the medical line here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but okay, so first, I studied computer science in university, and what I'm saying apologies to anybody in medicine line is my parents were always do medicine. I had a pretty good result, right? So everybody was expecting medicine, and then I was like, hey, me. Well, I'm the one filling my jam for myself. All of you are going to be all right at the end of the day. So I specifically looked for a school that didn't have medicine, FUTA. I was like, okay, I'm going to choose computer science. And if you tell me to change the medicine, FUTA doesn't do medicine, so all the best for you. And you cannot tell me to defer my admission because I got my admission, right? So that was how I got into computer science. I really had no idea what I was getting into, right? So in my first year in school, I was always the school, church, hostel kind of person. Then in my second year in school, I started making a few friends, and then someone invited me for an event one day. And that was just how I went for the event, out of boredom. And Yeah, that was like my first introduction to tech. There, I was doing like smart systems, so it was like more of a hardware training, right? That was like my first exposure with tech, but hardware systems is expensive, and I was broke then, right? I'm like, how am I going to get stuff? How am I going to get equipment? So if you don't know what hardware systems is, basically like systems for smart home automation. So where you have like a door opening on its own when it senses someone coming in, where you have like your lights turning off on their own when you leave the room. When you enter the room, the lights turns on, that kind of thing. So that was my first exposure to tech. But after then, I started discovering that, okay, there were other parts to tech that didn't require me buying stuff, right? I could work from the comfort of my home on my laptop and still make money and still create value, right? So currently, I'm a data analyst, and I also manage like a lot of communities, right? So what a data analyst does is we collect data from businesses, and then we give them insights on how to make better informed decisions. So for example, where I work, I help analyze the business data to tell them what production looks like. I work in oil and gas, so I try to tell them, okay, this is what like oil production value looks like currently, and this is what it's going to look like in the future, forecasting, or this is what this is what it has been. So making this decision now might not be the best option based on past stuff like that. So basically, that's how I got into tech from that event. So I just started meeting new persons, learning skills online. I've dabbled into a lot of things in tech, from hardware systems, web development, graphics design, name it, till I stumbled on data analytics. And I just felt this was nice for me, right? Because it required me to be more of like someone interfacing with business people than interfacing with just the technology itself. So I got to also understand the core of the business. What does this business do? What's the value this business is providing? What are they trying to achieve? And how can I assist in achieving this goal for the business? How can I achieve to make more money for my company? How can I help to do this kind of thing? So that's just basically how I just said, oh, I think data is the best place for me, and I just stayed there basically. So aside from being a data analyst, I also like I talk a lot, right? So contrary to your opinion that tech people are gentle, I'm not one of them. I'm not gentle. All right, so I talk a lot, so I had opportunity to like manage a lot of communities. I currently manage one of the Google communities in Akure. So I had the opportunity to manage communities, because people are just like, who is that girl that's always out and talking and all at events, hosting events, managing communities that are larger than me sometimes. So I just like started building my skills basically from small, and suddenly people started knowing, oh, there's one Triumph here, oh, that she can do this kind of thing. Are you sure you don't want to involve her in whatever you're doing? So that is how I started doing community management stuff, and that's basically how it just started for me, basically.
You guys are not clapping enough. Should we end it here? That sister is still not smiling. Let us clap and be happy, because people might notice full. Yeah, she started somewhere, and then she continued. She tried a lot of things. She was flexible. She didn't even know how it was going to end, but she followed the leading, right? So sometimes you might not figure it all, right? Started from a place of what she wanted, her passion, and then she went into it. She didn't know how it was going to turn out, but here she is today. She has learned a lot of skills she could transfer here and then use to become who she has become today. Thank you very much, Ms. Triumph, for that beautiful one. Now I move to the global lady herself. Many of you don't know her, right? You don't know her, then you don't know. you don't know anybody on Facebook, then yeah, that's on a lighter note. So Miss Mercy Akinmoyewa, I think it's over 1 year that I met you now, and she keeps blowing my mind every day. I thought I knew a lot, but she humbled me. Honestly, because this is one of the examples of people that will say, carry your market on your head. That kind of thing. Have you heard that before? Are you not aware that people say that? Carry your matter on your head. Or you like it solo, you keep whatever you're doing to yourself. My audience are not with me. If you believe that you should carry your matter on your head, your business, your skill, raise up your hand. If you believe that you should keep it low key to only your family members and your friends and church members, can I see your hands up there? None of you Wow, that means we all want to be out there so that people can know us with what we do, right? So, Miss Mercy, please tell us, how did this start for you? I'm so excited to hear this story.
Okay, thank you so much, Ma. Basically, for me, should I say I'm this excellence-driven person.
Wow.
If you come in contact with me, even not just me alone, but everyone around me, I want you to just be best at what you're doing. So basically for me, I would say, how did it start? Of course, my mom is a fashion designer, so I automatically must know how to sew, though I was not.
What's her brand name?
Julie Success.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing. So she has a brand name.
So I automatically must know how to sew. I was really, really not interested, but I loved fashion. I mean, right from when I was growing up. So should I say I'm an injured medical student because I wanted to study medicine, and of course I was not going to do fashion design. I feel like fashion designers, you can just be on the street and open a shop, and how much are they going to pay me?
What's appealing to you?
Yeah, how much are they going to pay me? Probably because of the environment I was. So I wanted to study medicine, even despite the very high scores, getting 300 and above and all of that. I could not get medicine. So I was always down, and I just wanted to be relevant, and to me, I felt studying medicine was going to make me relevant. But living on the state and moving to Ife, my eyes got open to a lot of things, and I started seeing people do their business and make money from it. So at that point, I'm like, So, and why I wanted to study medicine was because I wanted to meet with big people and say, I'm a medical doctor, I'm this, I'm that. So at that point, I was like, okay, I want to sew now. And why I had to start sewing was because I'm this kind of person that I detest indecent dressing. I detest it so much. I hate it, and I don't hide it. So I started basically because I just wanted to sew modest wears, and people would tell me they love my dress, make for me, all this kind of thing. So that was how it started. So basically, when I started, someone told me and said, you are a deeper life girl, you are an SU. And are you sure you can make waves in this fashion designing? You can only sew for deeper life people. They don't pay. Yes, he said so. So at that point, I'm this kind of person that I love people to tell me things, challenge me, yes. So when he said that, I was like, okay, just give me 2 years. Wow. And that was when I was going to start my brand. I registered my brand 6 months before I launched it officially. That's because I like to come prepared. I don't show up anyhow. Yeah, I don't show up anyhow. So when I launched my brand, I also started styling natural hair because I felt like I started seeing a lot of people appear just round. The hair is just somehow, I don't like it. I just like appear simple and classy. So I started styling natural hair and all of that. So when I started my brand, people were wondering, who is this girl? I mean, I had made preparations, like for me to register my brand 6 months before launching. So the flyer was everywhere. Like, even my brother in Lagos had to tell me that, is this person in Lagos? They're like, she's not in Lagos, she's in Ile-Ife here. People were shocked. So when I started, I had a lot of things, and I was so focused that it was, for instance, imagine somebody telling you a simple clothes that a normal person will pay you maybe 50K for. Somebody telling me, I want you to pay me 150K for this dress, but just let me tear it a little. At that point, the temptation was, I was like, am I sure I want to do this fashion designing thing? This person already told me I'm a deeper life girl, so I have to compromise, I have to, all of that. So, but what I did was, there were some things I had to learn. There were some things I had to sit back and, okay, this fashion is, there are a lot of people here. And despite the fact that there are a lot of people here, you can still make your name. You can still make God know. The main vision initially was to project modesty, to make people know you can wear beautiful outfits and still stand for God and still be admired. Yes, and still be admired. So I was happy I was able to do that. And it's also funny that person that made that statement that year, when I got an award last year, the person was like, I am surprised at your level of growth. And the truth is, when you start something, it might not make sense. They used to say there's light at the end of the tunnel, but if you don't start, you don't even know if there's any light. So I started. It was not easy. Of course, standing for modesty, trying to show up, trying to build your brand and all of that, it was not easy. But I'm thankful for where I am. Though this is not where I'm supposed to be, but I know that I'm still going somewhere.
Wow.
Thank you.
Look at not clapping. And then some people are not even jotting down. We are going to ask questions though. Thank you very much, Miss Messi, for that beautiful one. Start small. Before you launch out, get prepared also. Do your own work. She said she gave herself a challenge. Give me 2 years. So how many years are you giving us? I want to hear. Just a year. That's your own personal challenge. So she challenged herself. Give me 2 years. And she worked at it. She had a goal. She had a vision in her heart. And then here she is today. So we are actually rounding up. If you have questions, please kindly note it down, and then so that the protocol can get those questions and we'll be able to address them. So let us go to the digital age now. There's a lot of mixed up. If you're not on Instagram, you're not selling. Are you on Facebook? If you say no, they'll be like, you're not ready for business. And then sometimes you don't even have all the resources, money to maybe go all out there and showcase your business the way you would have loved it. So my question is, in this digital age, how do we really launch out? Is it online first? Because in the case of Miss Mercy, she said that she had to set the table, she had to do her branding, she had to register her business. So I want us to just discuss about this. Should we start from offline or should we start online? Or at what point should we launch out into the media space? Just so people are not, because sometimes when you say you want to buy some things, I don't know if you have experienced it. I have it. How many copies? 2 copies. And then sometimes people that are particular about online, they don't have those items in stock. And then sometimes they lose trust. And so I need insight on this thing. Miss Mercy, are you willing to give us some insight on that?
Okay, no problem, ma. Okay, for instance, my business, I run it offline and online. But basically, I run it online. And so far, most of the persons that have trusted me, most of the persons that have trusted me, 97% of them, I've never met them before in my life. And it's so funny that when you want to launch your business, the first thing is understand the kind of product you are launching. Understand. Because the truth is, for instance, an hairdresser, you can't just launch online. Before you even launch online, you still have to, even if you have to project your work online, you still need samples of those work. Where are those samples of work? Those samples of work, you are doing it offline. You are doing it probably in your house or in your shop. So even before you launch online, you still need that offline part. Every business still has that offline part. Even for people that are into tech, there's still a place of planning. It is offline. Everything is not done online. So, and I also want to say that if you want to launch your business, and because the truth is, for instance, let's say as a person, I want to order something online. I want to patronize you. If you are launching online, be fully prepared that you have a track record. If I don't see what you are doing, if I don't see how you are doing it, how you relate with your customers, I might not. Why do you think that some of us, when I tell you, first, now let me assume I tell you I want to buy something, and you first ask me that, are you sure they are not scammers? Because the truth is, you need to have a track record. Let me go through your, if you are ready to, if you know you are not prepared for it, it's better to start offline before you go online. But if you want to go online, be fully prepared for it, that people can just go through your profile at a glance and they say, this person is authentic. And if you want to go online, one thing most business persons don't know is you just do more of posting products. Show your face once in a while. Yes, it shows that it is not a robot that is running this business. It shows you are authentic. Wow. It builds trust, that the way your customers will trust you, it increases more than just the normal one. Thank you, ma'am.
Wow, thank you very much. Now that was a valid point. We are not still clapping. Because that has just answered this. Some persons just want to launch out and launch online. Sometimes you need to build track record offline, build relationship, let them know who you are, let them know you really, so that they can trust you. When you eventually go online, they will be able to patronize it, and then it will just amplify your results. So for Ms. Omowunmi, I know your own is digital assets and everything. You don't have a physical product you're bringing offline. So how do you project yourself? Like, how do you really attract your audience? Is it just let us in a very short time?
All right. So I did not really have the opportunity to talk about the part where I I do virtual assistants because that's like the bulk. Although for voiceover, I work with digital tools like Adobe Audition, Audacity, and the rest to edit and everything, which is a digital tool. But then for virtual assistants, you have to do a lot of work. You have to make use of the Google Workspace. You have to make use of a lot of tools, which is basically most of them you work online, and then although some of them are offline, they are still digital. But then, just like Messi said, you have to still do your work. Like to go on certain things, and I'm able to just help you work and just relieve you of whatever pain it is you are going through, clear up the confusion, and get this job done. That was the reason I started doing virtual assistants, and also understanding that I had, and that I was just someone that had understanding of anything digital.
All right, thank you very much.
I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm sorry. So as a person, you should do your work offline before you go online, because you have to be prepared. What are the skills you need to strengthen? Because what we're talking about online, if I get the sense you're talking about, is bringing yourself to social media. Bring yourself to social media. Are you sure? Because when, let's say for instance, you're advertising on LinkedIn, you have professionals there. So have you done your work offline? Like, even though you're a digital person, do you know your onion? Do you know how to work with those tools? And so after you've done that, then you now launch and start saying that you are this and you are that and you are that. So please be ready offline first. Talk to people well, relate with people well, understand your why, understand it and know it well, and then you now start talking about it. So that's what I want.
Wow, thank you very much. Understand your why. She has highlighted the fact that you need to build your business offline first before going online. And Miss Mercy said also that be ready, like she also said. So I think that actually brings us to personal branding. And again, maybe I should just create open to us. Maybe Christians, how should we, like, are we free to project the work we are doing as business owners? So far we have our why, we have a reason why we're doing it, and then it's within certain confines. Ms. Olofinnika, I just wanted to put, apart from being a Christian, I know you're a nurse, and then you have your professional ethics, you're a Christian. So in bringing your business online, in projecting, selling your market, how do you balance everything that no party is affected and God himself is not offended to us? Marcus, can you help us with that?
If I can get what you are asking, how do you balance of being a Christian and also advertising your product? Is that what you mean?
Yes, being a Christian and putting yourself out there, like how far should you go? How do you maintain all of those? Because I know you have a Facebook page and everything is well organized and the personal branding is so good. So just give us some insight on how to do that, man.
Okay. The other time I was trying to think I explained how I started, and there's a point, a very important point I'm going to make reference to it. Before I started my supermarket, I prayed, and there's this specific prayer request that I made. I told God I need another source of income. So I started having like 2 or 3 dreams pointing out to a particular product. Some people would just tell me in my dream, I started selling this, started selling this. That was how I started. And I prayerfully, lot of things. So now, when you're going to balance being a Christian and putting up your product online, I think you just have to, for you to advertise your product is not a sin, not at all. Because even the Bible, there are instances in the Bible where you just have to, you can't stay here and you expect somebody in maybe Lagos, Akure here to even see what you are doing. You just have to tell somebody that you are doing something. So, and if you refuse to tell somebody, they will say that ilé iṣẹ́ tí a ò bá polówó, tí a bá fẹ́ tà, a máa polówó ẹ̀ ni. So you have to advertise your product, but then wisdom is the principal thing. It's not everything you put about yourself online. I see a lot of ladies that just come in. This one, you have this certificate, they upload it. You have this certificate, they upload little thing like all these online small certificates that they have just earned. They start to upload it. This life, you have to be wise too. Because some people, they are on your space, just trying to pick what you are doing. Let me tell you something. There was a time I was posting some things. I discovered that I have a woman, it's everything I post. She will call me and say, I'm also doing it. Yes, it's true. If I do this one, okay, if I start to do, there was a time I started teaching how to make soap. Then in my office, they were not paying us for months. So I see some of my colleagues are not living too fine. So I will just be teaching them for free how to make liquid soap and those things. So I discovered that if I say, okay, this one I will teach you, say I can do it. This one. So it was until God opened my eyes, I have to block her. Yes, so many things. So that sometimes you just have to be wise. Not everything you put online. Those important things, just put it. I sell this. Package yourself very well. It's not that you just be putting everything, all your movement. Today I'm going to Ife. Tomorrow I'm going to Lagos to maybe you can tie gele very well. Tomorrow I'm going to Lagos to tie. So no. Wisdom is the principal thing. You have to be very, very careful because this word is. You have to be prayerful too. And I know if you have the Spirit of God, the Spirit of God will be confident. There's nobody that will have to teach you. You have to do this. If you have actually given your life to Christ, the Bible says they are those children of God. They are led by God. God will be leading you on some things. Your instincts. Don't do this, and you don't do it. You don't have to see somebody to tell you, don't do this, don't do this. The Spirit of God will be guiding you.
Right, we are actually behind schedule. And I know that we have a lot to say. Maybe time will permit us some other time to say more. Thank you so much for coming here. Ms. Triumph, Ogeh, thank you so much, everyone.